Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well, got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So today I want to go over like a part two of my episode that I did the other day of why I rank the students, how and why I rank my students the way I do. The part two of it is students that transfer, that move to the area, move closer to my academy and join, whether either from out of state or just from around the Metroplex. They just move closer and, decide to think our academy is a better fit than the others and then decide to join up. They could be blue, purple, brown, whatever, even black belt. I don't think I've had black belts transfer, but anyways, the other belts. And typically, when you have a student transfer from another academy that's already been training for a while, it's typical for other coaches to basically reset them from the very beginning. So let's say, for instance, you've already been training jiu-jitsu and you're a blue belt and you have a year in at blue belt already. And then you switch to a new academy. The typical thing is you got, the coach got to get used to you, get to know your game, see how you interact with the other students, how you treat people, how you treat your teammates. You're respectful, not respectful, can you just, it's not just like, are you good and can you tap out other blue belts? There's all those other variables that are involved. But most of the time, a person that relocates to another academy that already has like a year in a jiu-jitsu or a year in at blue belt would typically have to basically reset and spend and do a whole nother year plus the 2 years or whatever, and they'll end up being 3 years at blue belt. And for me, I really don't do that. If they come from a reputable instructor, professor, and the place that they come from is really good, then I will pretty much try to honor a lot of that time that they've put in already at blue belt or purple belt or wherever the case may be, at their rank, and I have quite a few different scenarios. I've had quite a few, and still do have people that come in and transfer, to our academy because of, what we're known for and how we're built and how it can help them and that kind of thing. I'll give you an example, a couple. Coach KJ, he's one of our coaches now, but he relocated from Hawaii, and he was like a 5-year brown belt when he came to me. Okay, now this is an individual that didn't work at the time at a job, didn't have a job. His job was to do jiu-jitsu. His parents are like, you're going to train jiu-jitsu. And that's it. And he started in a kids program. So this guy's been when he came to me, he's already an adult, in his 20s. And he's already been training, he's already have 10 years or so of jiu-jitsu. And this guy is really good. And he's already got 5 years in at brown belt. And I was like, wow, I'm not going to keep this guy in my academy for another 2 years to just, make him reset that time just to get familiar with the guy to see and then give him his black belt. Now you're talking 7 years, just at brown belt alone. I think that's ridiculous. Okay, so I didn't do that. It was just a matter of a short amount of time, maybe 4 months or something like that. It was just a couple months. All I had to see is him train with the other guys, how his demeanor was. The guy he had takedowns, he had a really good guard, really good passing. He was a very well-rounded individual. Jiu-jitsu was really, really good. So I didn't keep him at brown belt for very long. It was just a short amount of time. He was with me a couple months, and I gave him his black belt. I think it was well-deserved black belt because of, he basically started in a kids program in Hawaii and, trained twice a day and trained with some really high-level teams and high-level coaches. And to keep him at brown belt for a couple years just to keep him in my academy and then give him a black belt, I just think was just ridiculous. So I gave him his black belt. And now he's one of my coaches on my staff and does a really great job, works really well with the kids and the other guys. And, you know, so there's an example, right? I got a couple, there was a couple of brown belts that came under me that are up in Michigan that decided to join my team. Well, at that time, I'm pretty sure they had already been training for like 10 to 12 years, okay? And they were brown belts for a while already. And so, you know, I'm not going to just, that was like another situation. Like, man, you guys should be black belt. I got a chance to like meet them, train with them, watch them roll, see their jiu-jitsu and so on and so forth. And I was like, man, these guys, like, they should be black belts, you know? So it wasn't that long that I kept them at brown belt. It was a very short amount of time. And some people might disagree with that. But at this time, like I said, I just feel like, for me personally, I'm not going to hold someone and reset their time just because they moved away from their academy and then now they have to start all over at mine and like totally disregard that the time and effort that they put in at their current belt, you know. I was talking about that with Jocko. So Jocko was talking about in the podcast that one of my students shared with me that he had already had 2 years at blue belt, I think, already under his current professor, his current coach in San Diego, Fabio Santos. And then he moved to Virginia for work because he's in the military. And he was training over there. And I think he was gone for a couple years over there or something like that. And then he came back to San Diego still as a blue belt because the other coach in Virginia, I forgot whatever coach it was, like basically kind of reset his time. And in the podcast, Jocko says, you know, wow, really, I think he was training a lot, like for his work, you know, so he wasn't really on the mat as consistently as he was in San Diego. Because in San Diego, he was training a lot. But still, he got 2 years at blue belt, consistently training, and then has to move because of work to the other side of the country, and then has to spend another couple years under another coach, and then got shipped back to San Diego, and then spent more time there. So I want to say, I thought he said he was like 5-year blue belt too. And Coach KJ was like a 5-year blue belt. So those things happen. I have another student that just relocated a couple years ago. His name is Lindsay. Man, I want to say he's trained in 5 different states. Okay, he's relocated because of work or whatever. So this guy's been training, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but he's already been training for like 14 years or something like that, off and on. And every time he moves, he basically has to like reset his time with whatever coach. So again, I'll take all these things into account of who they've trained with, how long they've trained, how long they've been at their current rank. And once I see their jiu-jitsu on the mat, and in my opinion, is legit, can they pass the guard? Do they have a really good guard? Do they have takedowns? Are they a well-rounded individual, or are they just basically kind of just honed in on one game and don't really have many other skills besides that? If they're very well-rounded and they have all these different areas covered, again, takedowns, guard passing, you know, sweeps, whatever, and can attack and submit from all areas, then for me, I don't really need to hold anyone there for another 2 years because they just moved to my academy, and then I reset their time and totally disregard their time and effort that they put in. Now, if they come to me, which some people have, they say, yeah, coach, you know, I just moved. I've been a blue belt for a year, but I've been off and on with my training. I haven't been consistent. Then that's different. Okay, that's different. They're saying that right out the gate that they're just being honest. I'm not consistent, you know, with my training. And so they would probably spend that 2 years at blue belt with me. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not really there. And then when they come in, maybe they're not in the best of shape. Maybe they haven't trained in 3 or 4 months, and then they just moved to my location. So in that case, that would be different. I would probably hold that person there, kind of reset their time a little bit back, get them acclimated to the training, teach them how our system works and what our techniques are called and how we do things, because every academy is different and every coach kind of has a little tweak, a little differently, a little detail that's different. And then they would get promoted whenever that time comes, you know. But you got individuals that are not skipping class, that are consistent with their training. When they come, they're in shape. When they come to me, their jiu-jitsu is really good and they can roll. They don't need to take a break. They're not getting tired. They're not getting gassed. They're not out of shape. They're good. And I check off all these areas as I'm watching them train. Then I'm going to pretty much honor their time that they've put in somewhere else and try not to hold them, try to get them to that next belt rank in the time that they should be there and what I think they should be there. So I think that's very important because every place is different. So, you know, I got a lot of good feedback and a good response on the one I did the other day, but that was just how I rank students that come to me that don't know anything, that start with me from scratch, walk into the school, to the academy, and have zero knowledge of jiu-jitsu, and then how I progress those students. But for those other students that are relocating, like I just had a couple students relocate from like further out in Dallas, and now they're at my location. And one of them's a purple belt. She's really, really good. And her professor, her coach, is a really high-level, well-respected black belt. And just in the short amount of time that she's been here, and her husband, like, I can see that they know jiu-jitsu. I can see that they got good jiu-jitsu. I can see that their skill set is where it should be at, like where their current rank is, you know. And so I'm gonna honor that time as much as possible, because for one, where they come from is legit, and then two, me, for someone that's been training for, you know, 25 years, and this is all I do. I don't do anything else, and I study this stuff, and I've watched students and took students to the highest level that they can go to, as far as tournaments and stuff like that. Like, I know jiu-jitsu. I can see what I see. Like, I know, like, if someone's good or not, and should they be at this rank or not. So those things would be held into accountable, and then I would take them where they need to be when that time comes, versus like someone that's, again, having to reset their time, and they're having to spend 3-4 years at the current rank because they've relocated, and basically not really punishing them, but just, you know, I just think it's a little bit of a disservice. Now, again, someone relocates, they're not really training, they're not consistent, they're not in shape. When they come, they can't do all the rounds, they're struggling, their game is off. We're going to spend some time at that belt rank and get them where they need to be, and then when that time comes, we're moving forward. But for those other ones that come to me, like I've been having quite a few lately that are just legit, and they have a certain skill set in a current belt rank, I'm going to try to move them forward and put them where they need to be in a timely fashion when that time comes. So just something I wanted to talk about, because I just feel like the other day I just was focused more on just those students that don't know anything. And then I've had quite a few, which lately I have quite a few students that relocated and are really, really good. And I'm going to try and get them to where they need to be when that time comes at that new belt rank or whatever. So, and again, at the end of the day, that's not the focus, right? The focus is trying to improve every day, trying to get 1% better every day. Every day you come in, you're just getting a little better at whatever it is that we're trying to get better at. But at the same time, you know, you do want to move forward. You know, that shouldn't be the focus on everything, but you do need to move forward. Again, it's like going to college for 4 years, and you don't miss class. You show up when you're supposed to. You take all the exams. You got the grades, but then you just don't get the degree. You don't get the diploma or whatever the case may be. That doesn't make sense, right? So just a good topic that I feel like for a lot of people that, since I do have a lot of people that are with me that are relocated, it's just a good way to just kind of understand how I do things. Because like I said, I've done them in the past. You know, some people might frown on that, might get a little upset about that or whatever. But if their skills are where they're at, then that's good with me. Okay. So anyways, got to run, got to get up to the academy, teach and train. Catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you.